All right. How's that for audio? How's that? Is that good for audio? Al, thanks so much for always getting my back there. What's going on, guys? Um, am I working? Am I live? Can you hear me now, Gates? Can you hear me now? Uh, uh, uh. Are we good with audio now? Better. Okay, thanks, guys. Awesome. Well, guys, what I just said, let me just replay this music. I'm not sure if you heard the music though, but welcome back to the live stream, guys. Just relaxing this afternoon. Just want to get in touch with you guys, just seeing everybody. Got a special live stream here for you guys. I wanted to go over some market updates and all that, but I did want to talk about. I'm live, thanks. Yeah, it's live. It's what happens. I got a special friend coming in. CNFT Tuesday, all about like Cardano and all this kind of stuff. Thanks, Ty. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Just getting over COVID. And so if you feel like, I don't know if you saw my last video, like maybe last week Tuesday, but I sounded like really congested and nasally. And so I'm just getting over some of that right now. So thanks for asking, Ty. What's going on? What's going on, Philip? What's going on, everybody? I don't know why I can't see who's on in here. Yeah, I was sounding pretty rough. Anyway, I wanted to bring in a special guest here today. His name is Steven. He's been a friend of the channel. He runs a project called VyFinance, VyFi for short, VyFi.io. I've given away his NFTs, which were like huge NFTs. They were worth around like 900 sound. Can you not hear me, Crypto Knight? I guess I'm like rusty at this live stream game because it's been so long. Yeah, Crypto Knight, can you hear me? Let me see if I can I up the volume here? I don't even know. All right, yeah, can hear now. Okay, good. Okay, good. Anyway, I want to bring in a guest here. He's the captain of a ship, never breaks a hip because he always buys the dip, especially when he's a investment from the financial sector before. He's he's in Italy right now. He was from Australia, but I want to welcome in VyFi's head captain, Steven. Steven, welcome to the channel, brother.
Thanks so much for having me. I love that introduction.
Good to see you. I don't know if you heard, but I'm just getting over COVID, and this is the second time that I've had it, which is ridiculous. And this one knocked me off because I couldn't even like look at the screens and stuff like that. So this one was a little bit rough for me. Have you had COVID before?
That really sucks, my man. That really sucks. I'm sorry I'm smiling. It's because I'm on camera and it's an automatic reaction, even though you're telling me stuff that isn't good. I have had was it your first bout? I've had one bout myself.
This is my second, which is like ridiculous to me.
Apparently the second, I've heard people that have, like yourself, a pretty shit time on the second.
Yeah, the second time was interesting because I didn't lose any taste or anything. I did have body aches and chills, but my eyes were like, I couldn't handle light. And so I was like, always like doing one of these. But I got COVID in December also. That was a really rough time. Anyway, I'm done with the COVID stuff. I want to talk to you about some more interesting stuff, especially on the Cardano. Guys, if you guys didn't know, he is a developer, project lead of VyFi on the Cardano blockchain. Recently, I really got into Cardano. And I've known Steven for like such a long time. And
yeah, actually, it's been a year now.
Yeah. Our relationship goes way back when he first promised me a new Cowboy hat. And it was it was crazy because I was like, no one's gonna send me a cowboy hat. I just met you. And it took about a year, but I want to don it for the first time with you here. So I got it right here. It's not exactly a cow. Can you tell me a little bit about this hat? That's
that's an Akubra hat. It's got the crocodile. It looks like it's got the crocodile belt around it. So the Akubra is the Australian cowboy hat. Wow, that really looks like an Akubra. You'll also classically see people, they drill holes around it and then they tie a knot and dangle cork out. So you've got like a circle of cork around your face so that while you're walking, the flies don't go into your face and the cork basically dangles there to get all the flies out.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. But that's because flies are a real issue. Like you think you've experienced flies until you go to the Australian outback, like near a swamp. And then
buddy. No, I'm excited about this. Like it's like official branded and everything, and the
Yeah.
quality feels good, and it even smells good. Smelled like Australia from when I opened the box. I was like, oh boy, this is
Yeah,
amazing.
they're all they're the best Australian hat essentially. They're the pride and joy of Australian cowboy hats, I guess you'd say.
I love it. I'm gonna have it like hung up there. I'm gonna try to probably wear it for regularly Tuesdays and stuff like that. But I gotta don it right now. This is
It's
amazing.
also got the classic Australian colors. It's also got that classic Australian drab green as well. It was a great color choice that you had.
This is amazing. I love
That's
it.
exactly what they wear in the Outback.
Oh man, this is it.
There it is. Look at that. You look like an Aussie. I'm actually going to put you off my.
I love it.
I'm going to put you off my TV so I can see you a bit larger. Just a second. Yeah, now you look like an Aussie.
I need a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
What do you look like?
Little tilt of that. But when you guys see a Filipino American Aussie cowboy, this is funny. I love it.
That's it.
Great.
All the cultures in one.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it, mate. I really am glad you like it.
I'm like hitting like 3 continents in one like identity right now. So.
I do love that.
Well, I want to thank you so much. It speaks to
it's an absolute pleasure.
It speaks to like keeping promises
pleasure.
And stuff like that. So it's just really a nice gesture for you. Thank you.
No, absolutely, man. And more than anything, I know that you're the cowboy of crypto. Now you can also have that Australian sort of flair to your cowboyness.
Dude, I went to Dallas. I went to Dallas just like a couple weeks ago, and I was like the only one wearing this cowboy hat. I swear, if I go to Australia and I wear this, I better not be the only one wearing this. I swear.
No, you won't be. You won't be. But in Australia, the Cowboys are called drovers. And
drovers?
Drovers, yeah. And essentially, rather than what they used to do, because Australia was a very large continent with large distances, they would drove the cattle from one place. So they would start up, let's say, north of Sydney, and they would essentially, over a season, just march them down the country. And as they were walking, the cattle would eat and grow. So they would start up north, they would take them down, and by the time they got to market, they would be ready to be slaughtered and sold. So they were called drovers because they were droving cattle across the countryside.
Okay. I've never even actually heard the term drove before, like droving a...
Like droving a herd.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that term
No,
before.
fair enough.
There you go. Actually, fun fact, my favorite television show right now, like recurring to other than like Stranger or something right now, is Australian Survivor. That's like my favorite TV show right now. It's fantastic. So I feel a connection to
Australian Survivor is a funny one. I watched the first 3 or 4 seasons, but then I kind of stopped because at some point you stop Survivor.
Yeah. Not me, not yet.
I highly recommend. I highly also recommend. I know you guys get it. The Australian Border Security is good fun. If you've ever had the chance to watch that. Super strange. It's super popular in Italy. So everyone in Italy, the only thing they know about Australia is that it's super tough to get in with anything, which is accurate.
That's hilarious. I have no idea. Why? Do you know why?
Oh yeah, we just got really heavy quarantine laws. So like you can't come in with fruit, you can't come in with anything edible, anything that's plant-based, anything that's remotely fun.
Could you tell me a little bit about that, the quarantine levels of Australia? I mean, I don't mind getting political. I just like talking whatever we're talking.
It's not getting political. The reason they do it is because we're a very isolated ecosystem. Yeah, get Bundy rum. I definitely agree with Al. Sorry, very briefly. If you're gonna get anything, get a Bundy. But yeah, it's basically because we've got a very isolated ecosystem. So as a result, there's a lot of infestations, parasites, bugs that we don't have in Australia that eat crops. And they're trying to just stop all these bugs coming in from importation. And it's just very funny when you watch the border security, you just get like these little Asian grandmothers coming in with just like, 4 fermenting eggs with like feathers still popping out of it because they've got fetuses inside, and really big blood sausages, and they're like, "What? Why can't I bring in my blood sausage?" Like,
that's definitely my grandma for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
She snuck them into thermostats, like thermoses, like so they put mushrooms and stuff in there. I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna get through security here, and she does, at least America, which is hilarious.
I love the Asian. Yeah, they're good fun. I dated an Asian girlfriend, an Asian lady for an extended period of time. She was Cambodian, and her mother was definitely very partial to bringing in a lot of seafood every time she came.
Yeah, I don't know why they do it. They do it a lot. So
You can't get that. You can't get the fish where you're going. You need to have it.
Gotta have it. It's part of the diet.
Yeah.
And, I want to talk to you a little bit about Cardano, about VyFi. We'll get to VyFi. I want to talk about the Cardano ecosystem, and kind of where it's going. So have you recently heard the statistic by Charles Hoskinson himself? He said that 40% of the traffic on Cardano is related to NFTs. What do you think about that? Especially, what's it like being a developer on Cardano? What does it take to develop a community, an application, all that kind of stuff? Give me like a broad stroke of what's it just like to be a developer there, and then we'll talk about your project.
Okay, so broad strokes of, well, we'll start with your first comment of the NFT proliferation. Yeah, it doesn't shock me. NFTs on any of the blockchains seem to be one of the real points of utility that exist right now. Now, as for the long-term value of that utility, as I've spoken with you before about, like, I don't necessarily believe in art as being what the long-term utility of NFTs are going to be. I think games have a lot more of an obvious reason to it, but I think there's going to be a lot more niche applications where they're used in things like security, ticketing systems, all these sort of one time you need to get something done and you can use an NFT as a representation of that. Another fantastic example would be production chain management, logistics. There's so many.
Licensing, identification.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
So with all these different sort of utilities for it, they're one of the most tangible ways for users on the blockchain to be able to appreciably reach out and start using the blockchain. So it doesn't surprise me that that is the currently most active area of the Cardano blockchain, as it is on any of the others, Ethereum, Avalanche. In any single sector, NFTs are one of the most popular in any of the blockchains, sorry. Now, what's it like being in Cardano? It's definitely kind of like doing a blockchain in hard mode. I guess is the best way to describe it. It's like you can do Ethereum, which is easy. You can try one of the other new ones, which is probably medium. And then you've got Ethereum, which is just so technically rigorous. Cardano, which is just so technically rigorous.
What is it about it? It makes it hard and difficult, rigorous?
Well, okay. As an example, let's start from a broad sense. We are kind of like pioneers in this space, much in a similar vein to what the early creators on Ethereum were back in 2017, 2018, right? So none of these tools exist on Cardano. And I'm talking about basic blockchain tools, stuff such as they do now. Basic ones exist now, like minting NFTs and liquidity pools, which still aren't quite 100% decentralized, but we're getting there. There are these basic functions of a blockchain that exist elsewhere. So like Ethereum, you can rock up and you can do everything. You can lend, you can borrow, you can set up a dApp very quickly and effectively. They've got developer tools that you can press a few buttons and then boom, you've got a developer tool set. So much so that you've got a browser dApp that you can launch smart contracts from the browser dApp for Ethereum. So all you have to do is go to one web page, write a few lines of code, and boom, you've got a dApp on the Ethereum mainnet, right? Mm-hmm. These developer tools and tool sets don't exist fleshed out yet on Cardano, right? We're building them now. They're being built, right? So we at VyFi have been able to get the Plutus application backend working. So we've integrated that now with smart contracts and also with light wallets. Now, the Plutus application backend is Cardano or IOHK's native translation system. It allows the front end, your website, to talk to the back end, the blockchain, right? And every other company and every other app so far is currently using a self-made centralized system to actually allow the back end to speak to the front end. But we got the pad working and we had to build the tool set. That took us 4 or 5 months. That's an example of something that's a lot of work.
How much does that cost? Like how many people, how many man hours, how many developers do you have there?
Around 100,000 or so is what it costs.
Oh my God.
Maybe a little more. Yeah.
Holy crap, man. So you're saying you put into near 500,000, 400,000 into the development of your app to talk to
More. That's just for that tool. That was just to get that tool constructed. That was just to get the pad working. Yeah, no, we're about, well, probably 1.5 million in.
Wow. So 1.5 million, 400,000. That's got to be the biggest, one of the biggest expenses right there, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Development on Cardano is super expensive because no one knows how to do this yet.
Got it.
Right. So
And
we're essentially pioneering the space.
yeah, so that's why like it's a little frustrating, but a little exciting for me because when I have to, like when I was trying
Sorry,
to
I'll just answer
swap,
Al quickly. It's on testnet at the moment.
is Pab on the running on live? Oh, testnet. I got yeah. So so yeah, that's probably one of the frustrating things about me, but actually pretty exciting is that I'm like, okay, I need a swap. I don't even have a stable coin that I could swap into on Cardano yet. There's a lot of big like staple pieces that I could find on different blockchains I can't find on Cardano, but that actually offers a big investment opportunity in my opinion, which is why I've selected Cardano. I've selected to like learn and talk to the people in the space here. And so yeah, so is it hard finding talent and developers, or are you developing the development?
Our team is being constructed. So no, like yes, it was hard, but more and more talent is coming up. So they've created some really good educational pathways for developers. These educational pathways, like the Plutus Pioneers program, that's a 1-month course that Haskell developers can take. It's a similar issue now that Plutus is starting to become a more established language, and people who are able to do it are starting to be a larger developer base that's capable of doing it. So yeah, I would say that it's actually growing. The developer base is growing, and it's getting easier as time goes on to find developers. But as always, like in any industry, there's always a shortage of developers. That's not Cardano exclusive. That's also back end, front end, anyway.
Yeah, so I decided as one of like in this bear market, one of the things that I want to do is learn Solidity, or whatever language, I guess Plutus, for Cardano. How long do you think it would take a lizard brain like me to figure out how to figure that out? You know what I mean?
Like anyone can figure it out. You just need to learn Haskell. So did you do some Solidity?
No, zero.
Okay.
Zero.
I have gone through with you before the difference between object-oriented and functional programming, but I will once more for people
give me the
that didn't
layman's term. Give me the lizard brain term here.
Yeah. So an object-oriented language essentially has an object, and then you commit functions on top of that object. I like to use the analogy with a door. So in an object-oriented programming language, you would say, I have a door, and now I want to commit the function of opening the door. And then when you run that program, the function opens the object. It opens the door.
Okay.
Right? In a functional programming language, you don't simply have an object such as a door that exists. You have to define all the parameters that a door can exist by before you're able to operate a function on those parameters. So in other words, you have to say, I have something that blocks a pathway between two rooms, and it is able to open in one direction based on which direction the hinges have been placed. Now, and then you have to define the structure of the door, all the rules that are, basically the mathematical description of it. And then once you have that, you can say, okay, now I want to do a function that performs this action. So you have to, and the difference is essentially rather than having an object that you perform actions on, you create a function, and then that function you can basically run formulas into. Right? So rather than being an inside out, rather than being an outside in, it's an inside out. You work from the function out instead of working from what you're doing into the object.
Gotcha. And so,
oh wait, sorry, I lost your sound because I run my sound through my television and my television turned off. Just 1 second.
Golly, did anyone get that?
And now you're back. Apologize about that.
I had no problem. I was like, did anyone get that? Because that joke is next level. Don't tell me Gates is saying you lost me. Of course you lost. You lost how? I'm like,
I'm sorry. I tried to keep it simple.
Maybe I'm just gonna go back to, you know what? I believe you did keep it simple too, like 100%. I believe. Here's the thing, in a bear market, like I find myself, I want to get involved in new things. I want to start developing, building, acquiring new skills. maybe this is something I can do. Maybe it's not. I'm going to explore and find out, oh yeah, no, this is not something I can do.
Well, the only thing about Haskell is that it's mathematically more rigorous, right? And that's what draws me to Haskell. That's what draws anyone that's into Haskell to Haskell, right? That's why it's it's a really big language in the engineering space. It allows you. It's very good, for example, for modeling fluid systems, right? If you want to build a sewerage and you want to work out how much sewage is going to flow, and I want to work out how can I get it to make sure it goes where I want it to go, and how big do my pipes have to be. That kind of stuff Haskell is perfect for, because you define the object of your sewage pipe, and then after you've defined the object of your sewage pipe, you can model stuff moving through it, right?
Okay.
Whereas what object-oriented language is much better for is drop and dragging functions together. So dropping and dragging smart contracts together, basically. It's a lot easier to do with Solidity, and it's a lot easier to do in object-oriented programming languages. So in terms of difficulty levels, Solidity is easier.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you can't do Haskell.
Yeah, so I did dabble in Solidity. Not, I mean, like when I say zero, I really didn't mean it zero, but I was trying to learn it, and the conceptually I was understanding it. What you just described to me was, I'm like, oh golly, I need to take time to read something or whatever.
I'm sorry.
I
try to avoid doing that to people.
That shows your brilliance and my lizard brain. So no problem. I'm curious though. Okay, I have a bunch of questions here for you, but let me get to some of these questions in here.
Thanks, Philip. Someone got it. Sorry, I'm just
no problem.
Interacting with the talking.
Yeah. Let's bring it. I got it. I'm a dev. Yeah, Philip is saying I got it. I'm a dev, not a dev, not me. What's this? What Don McConnell is saying? What about DAML? I'm not even sure what that means. Like,
I don't actually know what DAML is either, to be honest. If you could write out that one in full words. I wish I was a cowboy. I got the Mars.
Yeah, he's definitely a cowboy. Let me ask you this one. If just Chainlink exists like an Oracle network, what does that mean?
On Cardano, there's an upcoming Chainlink called Charlie 3 or Charlie. There's a bit of contention on how it's pronounced. I think they've gone with Charlie 3. They're going to be a dedicated Oracle for the Cardano blockchain built to work on Cardano nodes. So there is certainly
I've actually heard of
this blockchain, yes.
Yeah, I've heard of that. So that'd probably be, I mean, to me, Chainlink is like the Oracle. And so on Ethereum, like it's the one. So you can't really run anything else. Any other project using another Oracle to me is not as reliable as Chainlink would be. I had a question earlier up here. It said something, why is Aaron into Cardano NFTs? Maybe you could answer that. Why did you select Cardano? And I could answer my part. Why CNFTs? Why Cardano? Why are you in the NFT game? I know you are, but maybe some people.
Yeah, why am I in the NFT game as a wider thing?
Why Cardano and why Cardano NFTs for you?
Cardano. Okay, why Cardano? So I'm into Cardano because this is, I guess now to a certain degree, historically, I've been here for a long time. But more so than that, what got me into Cardano in the first place was the vision of Cardano, right? I do believe that we require a blockchain that is just actually mathematically sound. We require a blockchain that is going to be scalable, infinitely, that's going to have the capacity to, I guess to me, also importantly, have the capacity to fork into something that's quantum safe, so safe from quantum computer attacks. It's not currently, but they do have the ability to mathematically upgrade it to be. I also really like the vision of Cardano wanting to focus on, smaller communities with having a larger mint, making the token more accessible, and also the way that it's designed its approach to speaking with governments in smaller countries, in actually trying to get involved. There's a lot of reasons that I'm into Cardano, but from a project perspective, it was mostly because I saw it as an opportunity to fix the problems that we see that exist in the current DeFi space, right?
That's
right. Like DeFi is a very dangerous place.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is now. Right now, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, CeFi for sure is. DeFi definitely. Centralized and decentralized finance. Can you tell me what you see are the dangers in DeFi?
Well, DeFi, like the big one, of course, people that don't understand, first and foremost, projects that don't understand how to build economics on their token. A lot of projects are built by raw developers. people that have just been that don't have much experience in economics, right? And that is a real danger for projects, particularly smaller projects that don't understand how to manage that economic. You can get caught on the wrong side of that. Then there's rug pulls. You've got all the whole host of security risks that you hold by being in a smart contract.
Yeah. Have you ever been scammed really quick? Because Els asked me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get scammed. I've gotten scammed probably like 3 times in my YouTube career.
3 times?
Career. Yeah, probably 2 or 3 times. 2 for sure that I've recorded. Maybe there was a third in there that I'm just kind of saying if I did.
I've been rugged once. But to be fair, I learned some good lessons from that rug. So if anything, that lessons made me money in the future, because you just have to play rugs like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see websites that are going to be rugs from a mile off. You're like, okay, this is a rug. But if I get in there and I put it into a contract that does so, let's say like a great one that I loved, spring rolls. I made a couple of $1,000 off spring rolls. It was gorgeous. Spring rolls essentially had like 110,000%. I'm like, okay, clear rug. But they had a pool which was just B&B cake. And B&B cake was paying like 1,100%. So I went in there for 3 hours. I sold out when it got to, I think, $30 per spring roll. And then boom, I was gone. And then it rug pulled within 2 hours of that.
Good for you. Yeah, I've beat a couple rugs myself. But yeah, it feels good when you do that. But
absolutely. It's fine, isn't it?
It's crazy when it happens to you. So I feel like so stupid. But whatever, it is what it is. It's a rite to passage in crypto here, I guess.
Absolutely, it's just part of the game.
Can you tell me a little bit about your project then? What is VyFi? Give me the broad strokes before we really get into it, guys. I've done maybe 2, 3, 4 videos on VyFi. Check them. Just search it in the search bar in my YouTube whatever channel. But yeah, for people who are right here right now, tell me a little bit about VyFi. Tell me the broad strokes, the kind of the 50,000-foot view of VyFi. Then we could kind of get into some of those intrinsics.
Well, this is CNFT, so we'll hammer it down on the NFT, but I will give the broad strokes first.
Yeah.
We are we're an upcoming DEX on Cardano. We're implementing a distributive mechanism so that we can allow the fees that are generated on our DEX to be distributed back to the users that hold our token.
A DEX is a decentralized exchange, by the way, guys. So just make sure.
A decentralized exchange.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll try to avoid using the
no, it's all good. I just want to make sure everyone is always on the same terminology.
So we use the fees that have been the fees that have been accrued on our decentralized exchange through swaps. We use those fees to purchase back our own token, and then we distribute that token to people that hold our token and have it staked in our staking pool, in our bar. We call it the VyFi bar, or the Vi bar, sorry. Yep. Then we have our auto harvester, which is our next product that we construct after that. And our auto harvester is essentially just a machine that searches for yield for you. And we're using an AI, and our AI is essentially being fed the data to be able to find where the best trades are, given the current market and based on the current token values. And that's going to be investing in liquidity mining, I should add. It specializes in liquidity mining. Essentially, that liquidity mining is done on the user's behalf, and then the user get to reap the rewards without actually having to go through and do all their and manage all individually thousands of liquidity pools across multiple DeFi sites.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about this. This was one of the things that I was really looking forward to. And the reason why is because currently we manually, it's just me, right? I have to go to these different pools. I got to do the research. I got to do the math. I got to figure everything out. Then I got to be on my game. You know what I mean? Like if something changes in the market, then I got to go over there and whatever I got to do. And so you're saying this auto harvester is one of those things where you come from this finance background, right? Where I think it was hedge funds, right? And so where you're always doing research and trying to find the best places to put your money in for the best yield. That's what we would be doing. But you're going to be doing this for us with this tool, the auto harvester, which is something that I really am looking forward to.
And we're using a neural net for that. So
that's right.
That's an AI that essentially teaches itself the best strategies.
Yes, better than me, because I don't even know what the heck you're talking about. So yeah, I'm all for that for sure.
So Yeah, and that's going to be built to be as simple as possible for the user from a user perspective, right? It's going to be just low risk, medium risk, high risk, stablecoin risk. And you said before that Cardano doesn't have any stablecoins. There are a few coming. It is that's that. As I said, Cardano is where Ethereum was back in 2017, 2018 right now.
Okay. Which is good.
Sorry.
It's good and bad, right? It's good for an investing standpoint because you're like, okay, I'm here before everybody. This is good. But it's bad in that, like, okay, there's certain limitations we got to work around that don't make a lot of sense right now. So which is
there's
fine.
Still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is great. I got
which is exciting.
What was that?
No, it's just exciting, seeing what is going to be a better blockchain flourish, and we'll hopefully be able to perform all the functions of Ethereum within the next sort of year or two at a much lower cost and at a much higher speed. That's basically what we want.
Yep. Guys, I'm gonna do a couple giveaways shortly here from my own pocket. I haven't asked Steven. I don't expect anything from Steven to do a giveaway, but I've got a few giveaways that I always love doing giveaways on the live stream here. And we'll do that probably within about 15 minutes here. It is CNFT Tuesday here for me. And so what is your play in the NFT game on Cardano?
So we've got NFT staking. We were the first to have NFT staking on Cardano as far as I'm aware. I always add that little suffix. Someone might prove me wrong yet. And we essentially gave our NFT out for free to everyone who participated in our ICO. That free NFT, we then allowed them to stake to earn VyFi and a range of other tokens. Yep. And that NFT at its peak, the most expensive one of our purple, which are our commons, they sold for 4,500 Cardano.
Yeah,
and the most expensive one,
crazy.
Yeah, the most expensive one sold for 11,500, I believe, or it might have been 11,000 for a gold. That was back at the height of the NFT mania. Yep. We also actually hold there one moment. I'm going to bring it over.
Al still got his purple. Yeah, I've got mine too. Every time.
Here, we also won the long-term utility. Oh, my hand's in the way. Let's do this without my hand there. Long-term utility at the CNFT 2022 Awards.
There's a CNFT 2022. There's a CNFT Awards?
Yeah, there was a CNFT Awards, and we were fortunate enough to be nominated, and then we were voted by the community for the one having most utility. Best long-term utility 2022.
That's
thank you so much, community.
Congratulations. What the heck is that trophy, though? Did anyone see that? It's like a deflated balloon.
Yeah, I like to think of it. As an infinity sperm. Excuse my language, but that is just kind of what it looks like.
It looks like my large intestine.
Yeah, right. It looks like it's definitely a bit of an abstract. Abstract design.
That's huge, though. Honestly, wait. Let me just sink into that. You've got an award that was voted on by your peers as the best longest long-term use of a utility of a NFT. That's awesome.
Of a CNFT, yeah. We were very proud of that. That was a so yeah, we've had a few achievements with our NFT, to be honest. We've now had, so we gave out 2,000 in total for free. I believe the floor on it now is 700 Cardano or 800 Cardano.
Yeah, about 800.
About 800. And it's been, to be honest, it's held its price shockingly well during this NFT dump.
Yeah.
Seriously. In terms of its ADA value, in terms of how much ADA it's worth, because Cardano's dumped, but in terms of how much Cardano it's worth, I'm very proud with how it's done and been able to hold up.
And for people in the Cardano ecosystem, they're like 1 ADA is 1 ADA, 1 ADA is 180. So they don't care what the price is for, which I'm very impressed about. And I'm starting to develop that myself. So the utility in that is just to stake it onto your platform, VyFi.io. You launch the app and you could stake it there and you could earn back not only VyFi tokens, but a whole host of different types of tokens, right? So like you've got these different partnerships and stuff.
Absolutely. And we're going to be launching another token in the next week on our NFT vaults as well.
Oh, fantastic. I'm curious about the partnerships really quick. I saw that you were partnered up with some real big hitters on Cardano, cornucopias, some, other stuff. Can you talk to me a little bit about your partnerships? What do they look like? Or what are some of the partnerships that you're most excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. So Look, at the moment, I'll say the partnership that I'm most excited about is Genius Yield. That one is going to be a really interesting one, just from a tech perspective. They're also building an AI auto harvester. Now, rather than competing against each other, it's a lot better to work together because we're building similar technologies to make sure that we get safe technology. One of the big issues that we foresee in our realm, which is running an auto harvester, is the consistency of Oracle data. So we want to be working closely with them to basically be doing research on how we can ensure consistency of Oracle data and how we can fight against Oracle attacks. So that's one that I'm really excited for.
So would you be doing pooling your information and your results together? Like, okay, this is what worked, this is what didn't work, and you're gonna like share and collaborate in that way? Okay.
Basically, sort of design a bespoke solution for Oracle protection on Cardano.
Are they also using a neural link?
They haven't decided what AI model they're going to be using yet.
Okay.
It is a possibility that they might use a neural net, but as far as I'm aware, they haven't yet decided their AI model.
Got it. Well, that's pretty exciting. I'm like I said, I'm really excited about that auto harvester. I've got a few questions here from the community that for you.
Yeah, we are. Al.
Was
Sorry, that's just answering Al.
Oh yeah. So you looks like you're having a white NFT mint on the 21st.
Yes.
What's that like? Can you cover on how that's going to be used?
Yeah, absolutely. The white NFT is basically a more accessible form of our VyFi, of our purple NFT, right? Because now our purple NFTs become rather expensive and become harder to access. The white NFT is going to have long-term staking utility, right? Okay. Now, on an individual basis, it's not going to be farming that much, but of course you can stack them to be able to farm more. And we're going to be looking for a similar return on a cost point basis to what the purple NFT, to around about what the purple NFT was. We're hoping to start around 30%. So we're going to start with a bit of a boosted farm there. And essentially we're just, as long as our platform exists, you're going to be able to stake it for something. So that is just going to be a lower point of entry for someone who wants to be able to stake some NFTs for a bit of fun.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, so I'm definitely into like these CNFTs, and then I've been buying some random stuff, bro. Like honestly, like my friends got me into buying like birds and owls and monkeys and all kinds of stuff here. I can't stake with any of them except for one. There's like a little whale, a cartoon whale that I'm staking with, which I like. I like because I like staking. I like a utility. And so I saw that you partnered up with Cornucopias. Would you be willing? Would you entertain a partnership with like one of these other projects that have a lot of like, big community and maybe stake on your platform? Is that something that you're looking for or not really concerned with? You're really concerned with some of the big developments behind the bar and the auto harvester?
Look, we're always open to partnerships as long as there's a decent value proposition there, right? Like a partnership essentially is something that works well in both of our regards, right? So if it helps us both, then there's always open for a partnership. At the moment, we are really sort of heads down, butt up, building out our auto harvester. Although
I never heard that term before.
But wine behind me, it might make you think otherwise, but everyone needs a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Al says this: how many white NFTs are being minted and cost, emission, all that kind of stuff?
10,000 are being minted. The cost is around 50 Cardano each. The emissions is going to be revealed prior to the actual release of
50
the NFTs.
50 Cardano, baby, I'm in there. I'm gonna start minting and stuff like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, and the emissions are going to be released prior to the 21st. So we haven't 100% finalized them just as of yet.
Got it.
As I said, though, the numbers will be around about what I described. We're going for around about 30% a year is the aim, because these are intended to be sort of long term. And then once we set it, the market then decides based on the value of the tokens that are being offered.
Okay. When your bar, is that out yet?
No, that's not out yet. That is going to be we're going to be launching our decks with our bar at the same time.
When bar?
Hopefully, the end of this year or the very beginning of January next year. It depends a little bit on the audit as well. We're not 100% sure how long the audit will take. So I want to say, end of this year, January next year.
Okay. So can you describe what the bar is first? I'm talking out of turn here. Can you describe a little bit what the bar is?
No, absolutely. It's a distributive mechanism that basically converts the fees that are accrued into VyFi and then distributes that VyFi proportionally to those that have staked themselves at the VyBar. So with that, we're using real fees generated from an income, and then those fees, which that income is the fees of exchange. We use that income to purchase VyFi, and then we distribute that VyFi to the holders, essentially, right? Creating a system whereby we create upwards pressure on our token generated from a real income. And we're also extending that bar a little bit more, right? So we're also going to be including the commissions, half of the commissions that come in from the NFT. We're going to be including what's the other one? When people stake, there's dust that's accrued, right? We're going to be including that dust as another, form of accruing Cardano, and then use that to purchase VyFi and then distribute it to the holders in our bar. Now, this then works on a system of game theory whereby, if I buy $100 and I give a dollar to 100 people, they're not all instantly going to buy something with that $1. So we essentially give a perpetual upwards push to our token by using the income that's generated from our ecosystem rather than just by minting tokens and giving it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So basically when people are transacting on with your app, there is a fee that is required from that. That fee gets sent to the bar. That bar redistributes to people who have staked their NFTs onto your on either the vault or basically
in the vault, right? And it does that in the form of VyFi, so that we're using those fees accrued to purchase VyFi.
Good deal. Cool, guys. Give me a 1 if you guys like the card VyFi and what they're doing here. Give me a 2 if you got any questions. All right, give me a 1 if you like it. Give me 2 if you got any questions, and then we'll ask the questions here.
We will. By the way, I will also give you a couple of whites to give away for your audience, but let's not do it today because I don't have them yet.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Let's. We could do them next month if you
next month after they've been released. I'll give you a couple of whites to give them away.
Good deal. Sure. So yeah, you guys heard it here. It's the 5th today, and you're going to be minting the 21st. So yeah, probably that first week of August, I'd be good. I'd be good with you. Yeah,
perfect.
Guys.
You gave away a purple. I do remember that. That was a.
I'll tell you, dude. That was painful because I wanted to keep that purple. that was painful. That was a painful one.
That was a painful giveaway.
I was looking on this, or I was looking at the market, the floor of it. I'm like, golly, I'm really gonna give. And that's when like ADA was at like $1.50 or something like that. So I was like, God, I'm gonna give away like $9,000 here of a. So I was like, oh. I mean,
that's just shows you did well.
Yeah.
Any magic tricks?
That was Al.
Wait, that's a really random one. Al, have I met you? How do you?
I'm not sure.
I've always got a deck of cards on me.
What is this? How does he know about magic tricks from you? What does that mean? What?
Yeah, how does he know? That's what I want to know. I'm a magician. Like I was a magician for years. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. You got a trick for us?
Yeah, like a really stupid quick one.
Okay, if
we take a card and we change the card. Whoa.
If you guys can tell me how he did that, I'm gonna buy I'll send you an NFT, CNFT. If you guys can tell me how he did that, I'll give you a CNFT. Better one,
I just don't know how it'll work. I just don't know how it'll work. I want to do a slightly cooler one.
How'd you do that?
Wait a sec. No. This is a slightly cooler one that we should hopefully be able to do. Wait a sec. We take a card. What is it? The King of... It's an Italian card. So it's the Re. It says A, which is King in Italian. King of Spades. And then just like that. Although I did give it away because I did it on camera. But we change it.
I don't... It says bent or behind is either of those right? He has a card behind or it's bent. I'm not sure if what that means.
I did have a card. I did have a card behind. That was actually it.
Okay. Boom.
I had a card behind and then I bring it to the front while hiding the other one.
I don't.
I will show you guys quickly. Give it to that guy. I will show you guys quickly.
Gates,
You have 2 cards, and the motion looks like that. And I did it badly there, so you can still see it. But essentially, I take the cards and I do that with it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're doing. That's it, really?
Oh, wow. Yep, that's really it. Wait a sec. And now my hands are too sweaty, so they've stuck. But yeah, that's it. Nice little fun one.
Like this one with my mate.
Oh, no. You need 2 fingers, 2 fingers,
Okay.
1 finger on the bottom, and your thumb on the bottom. And you put them at the bottom of the cards like that. And the motion is you push it forwards with your thumb. And while you're pushing it up with your thumb, you catch it with this finger and then slip it in front. So you finish with 1 finger on the front. Yeah, it's not as simple a motion as it looks. You'll do that a lot.
I don't know, man.
You'll do that for like 4 or 5 hours, then it'll click, and then you should just be able to do that.
Golly.
But that didn't answer the question. Al, how did you know that I was a magician?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's probably the real trick right there. So Gates, congratulations. I'll send you another NFT. I'll send you some ADA this time because I just sent you an NFT this morning from last week's stream. So I'll send you some ADA.
Let me pull up my NFT list. I want to throw in an NFT to give away as well.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Let's do another.
I've got such an amassment of NFTs. Like when I first started doing all my research, for basically building our own NFT, I just bought a bunch of NFTs, and a few of them, like a slightly more common one of something.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. We did a vault with Politicos. I'll give away a Politico on today.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can come up with a
send me an address, please.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me come up with the so Gates, I'm gonna send you some ADA.
I wish I had known.
I'm gonna send you 200 ADA. How's that? That's about $100. So congrats. 200 ADA. Let me just write this down.
Can I win?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Not win, but you were just losing your what's it called? Your thing. Hold on. Your CNFT here. Guys, be sure to follow VyFi on their channels. I put their website in the link in the description down below. But yeah, be sure to follow their channels, like their Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Gates. Yeah, absolutely. 200 ADA.
Definitely jump in. Come and say hello. We're around. We like to have a chat.
Yeah. Let me do another giveaway here. I'm gonna try to
pass me an address that I can send a Politicos through to.
Here, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you in the private chat here. And then I'll just give it. I'll give it away personally. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to do it. So we did a vault with Politicos, and Politicos was the first project I ever bought.
Okay, there you go.
Actually, Politicos was one of my love stories. I managed to get there was a Politicos with a really rare trait called a finger gun. And there was only like 5 or 6 of them, and I managed to get one of those. And I spent 100. There were 5 ADA each when I bought them. I spent 100 ADA to get 20, and then I sold my 1 finger gun for 3,000 ADA. That was a.
Jeez Louise, bro.
That was a good trade.
Fantastic. Good for you. How many vaults?
Oh, no. But the reason I say that is because this is one of the oldest NFT projects on Cardano.
Oh, I had no idea. I'm like, I don't know what Politicos is. I don't know what that means. But we'll do a giveaway. I'll probably give that away tonight. Yeah, while I prepare for it and stuff. So we'll do a special VyFi giveaway tonight. Yeah, I'm starting to. I really am loving the Cardano ecosystem. People on Cardano that are building. I'll probably make my way to Solana eventually, but I'm really liking Cardano. Just everything that's.
Nah, you don't need to do that. What brought you to Cardano?
Funny story. I was looking to get into NFTs already, but I didn't know where to go, and I had found out one of my close friends. His name is TJ. He actually was running a Cardano CNFT like podcast for like months, and he didn't tell me. like maybe 4, 5, 6 months. And I'm on like YouTube and I'm always talking about, but he never talked. And we were talking about like crypto and stuff like that. He just never told me what he was doing. And so I found out just happenstance. And I was like, dude, I'm so angry. And then I was like, tell me more about Cardano. And so he told me about it. And that's just where I am right now because I knew him. Literally the only reason.
That's awesome.
But I really wanted to get into an NFT game, but I knew that Ethereum wasn't it because it priced me out for me to be curious. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be curious with thousands of dollars. I'm going to be curious with like less than $100. And so that's where I'm at now. But since then, I now, you know, I'm definitely diving in here. How familiar are you with the other projects, the NFT projects on Cardano, or are you just like
I'm fairly versed.
Have you heard of this Space Buds thing? Where
absolutely, I heard of Space Buds and the whole thing going about them using similar to the other projects that the production company had used, similar assets to what the production company had used before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real quick, this is, let me
answer
real quick. Let me connect
the question.
two people here. Steven, I need you to meet this guy, Freedom 35ers. This is the CNFT specific podcast that I was talking to. TJ is one of the 3 people on here. I'm pretty sure this is Tommy. And so these guys are good to meet. Very good guys. Got a big community. If you want to talk about little VyFi and stuff like that, I'm sure we could figure out some kind of.
I would absolutely love to connect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And guys, be sure to follow Freedom 35. I'm always talking about them. They're always letting me know like all the latest drops and all that kind of stuff.
Let's answer a few questions. Do you mind if I just answer a few questions from here?
Yeah, go ahead. Which one are you looking at?
How many token vaults have completed, ran out of tokens? I think at the moment it's about 10. I want to say 10, but you can have a look at our website. If you go app.vyfi.io, then VYFI, there's all the completed token vaults there. Then there was, when will the DEX launch? As I said earlier, the DEX and the bar we expect to be launching towards the end of the year, depending on how long the audit takes. Maybe January, but we hope that the audit won't take too long, and we're hoping we can get it in by December.
Got it. I've got a hard question for you, Steven.
Please.
So I'm gonna pull up your chart. This is your all-time on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah. That's because I only started the all-time like a couple of days ago, though.
Right. Yeah, just less than even a week ago. How long has your coin been out though?
Our coin's been out now since we were one of the first. We were like Muesli Swap launched with us, which was the first ever place you could exchange. So if you want the longest history, you need to go to Muesli Swap. That's got the longest price history. But it's not very accurate. But when was that? October, I think it was.
October. Wow. Geez, wasn't really that long. Here's my question. Most of the market honestly looks like this. Okay. It's just all downhill. What is your plan to help keep, I mean, is VyFi going away? I know you said you dropped 1.5 milli into this project. Give me some securities, give me some confidence on why VyFi is not going away. What's your plan to do that? I know that you've got some markers here that you're trying to hit end of year. The bar and the decks are coming out. You know, like I'm not really talking roadmap. I'm talking like, how do I know you guys are staying afloat, staying solid? Like this is a place where I could invest my time, energy, money into.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, we're a company in the exact same position as any other company in this industry, right? It comes down to a few factors: capitalization. It comes down to capacity to get out your product, and then it comes down to reception of your product thereafter. I can say with clear confidence that we have the capacity to build our product, right? When we actually got our ICO in the first place and we had the money to build through to our product, I made sure that we put that money aside to make sure we could build our product. Yeah. You know, I'm a trader, and when you've made a lot of money, you don't just keep it gambling.
Yeah. You lock in your wins.
You lock in your wins and you budget. You know, through other business deals that we have, we've been able to secure some developers. We've been able to secure lines of essentially employees that will work for us that in return don't cost us cash, which is always an advantage. And we're certainly not going anywhere unless after we build our product, people don't use it. Then if you build it and they don't come, then that's another question.
Yeah.
And there is always that risk. But if we build it and they come, then we're definitely not going anywhere.
Offhand, do you know how many users are on your platform right now? How many people, active wallet
Right
addresses?
this second, no. But I do know that we've been tracking an average daily usage of about 1,500 to 2,000, depending on the day.
Good.
At the peak, we were at about 6,000 daily.
Good. Okay, good deal. And yeah, okay. That's just literally, I'm asking that question of myself and anything that I'm buying in this market. If I'm buying it, is it going to stay? Is there stability? So yeah.
What VyFis am I looking at? What VyFis? What NFTs am I looking at outside of VyFi? Let's pull up my NFT collection and just have a quick look at which ones I really like. I really like Drunken Dragon. I've been collecting Drunken Dragon for quite some time, since they really launched. Then I would also say that Space Buds, even though they got a bit of controversy going on around them, they look like they got a few things going on. Boss Cat Rocket Club, Equine Pioneer.
Oh, we've heard a lot about Equine for sure. What do you think about
Equine
this whole Space Buds thing? What is it? Is it the death of them? What do you think about it?
I don't know enough to comment, to be perfectly honest. I don't want to make a guess here and be completely wrong and then have a company possibly not like me.
You're trying to make friends in the space. That's funny.
From my understanding, similar assets were used. Similar assets being used, well, I mean, if it's owned by the company, it's a confusing question, because who exactly owns that asset's image?
Yeah.
Is it owned by the users? Is it owned by the company providing it, or is it owned by the company that pays for the services?
Yeah.
Often it's owned by the company that pays for the services. So that means that it's actually a matter between the two NFT companies. It's not a matter between the people who produce them. They might independently be able to civilly sue that one for creating this problem, but for the actual NFT itself, it comes down to whether those two companies are able to sort out the issue licensing wise.
And what does that even look like cross borders? I don't even know what that means.
No idea. Right. So it essentially, I reckon it's in the best interest of both companies to just be like, all right, we've got similar artwork.
Oh well.
Yeah, right. That happened. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's get new artists for any future thing.
Yeah, let's just double check our work next time.
Yeah, there's no point absolutely just dumping your own project because of that.
Yeah.
And if neither of the projects sue the other, then there doesn't have to be an issue.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe public perception though, because it's considered less rare because they're not unique assets, but
I was just about to say that. There's a public
perception.
No
one knows how NFT markets work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too new, too weird. Looks like we're coming up on our hour here. I like to keep these things tied up to an hour. Steven, is there anything
that was really quick and really easy, mate. Thank you for the chat and thank you for having me. It was a really good time.
Of course, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. We'll definitely have you on here next month sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to leave us with, especially with VyFi or with Cardano or NFTs, and any kind of or in this bear market, anything you got?
Yeah, the last thing I want to leave with is a little note on the bear market. I've been trading now for years and years and years, and that makes me sound really old. I'm not that old, but I've been trading from as soon as I left uni. And bear markets are often a time of great opportunity. They're not just a time of destruction. They're not just a time of death. They're a time of working out functionality versus dysfunctionality, right? My Twitter's me the BIM, METHEBIM. And if you don't have and in this time of opportunity, this is when projects are made, right? Look at the last bear market that we had in crypto. And that's when you had the projects like all of them, Uniswap, Aave, SushiSwap, Compound, Curve. All these big names all sat there in the bear market and built. And the bear market gives you the opportunity to distance yourself from those moon boys, from those people screaming at you saying, "Where's my profits? I wanted them yesterday. Why isn't the NFT got a floor of 6,000? You know, why did it go down? This is crazy." And everyone getting really stressed and panicky and moving on really, really emotional fluctuations, unless you just sit down and get your job done. Right. And that's the approach that we're taking with this. It's just, we need to sit down, get the job done. And that's, as I said just before, if that means if you build it and they don't come, that's a different issue. But that's the advantage that you got to take out of a bear market. This is the time when you have to find the projects that have got a vision. And then if they've got a vision and you believe that they can pull through with that vision, you can do very well.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple quick questions here. Where do I buy VyFi token?
You can get VyFi token on, well, where? MinSwap, on Sunday Swap, and on Wing Riders. I would highly suggest having a Nami wallet or an Eternal wallet.
Good deal. And in relation to the wallets, do you have a hardware wallet that you store your cryptos or NFTs?
Yeah, I do it across a mixture of Nami and Eternal, mostly because I use single address mode.
Mm-hmm.
So single address mode requires single UTXO, which means you can't put too many UTXOs in there before transactions start failing.
All right, Steven, it was a absolute pleasure, my friend. Like it's always,
and I love that hat on you, by the way.
Oh, it looks good, right? Shoot,
yeah, it really does. It's just got it's got that Cobra shape. When I see it, it honestly feels like I'm at a pub in Townsville.
I honestly, I will make it out to Australia one day, especially when these lockdowns over, and I'll be rocking this like no tomorrow, dude.
Oh, absolutely,
vest and everything. So for sure.
Thanks so much, Al. And if you can get to me at how you know that I did magic, that would be amazing, because I didn't pull out magic when I went to conferences. I tried to keep myself professional. I thought it's a bit weird going into crypto conferences with a deck of cards and saying pick a card. Like, we're already at a crypto conference.
Check it out, guys.
Yeah. I just briefly, when I was at uni, I used to do some weddings and I used to do some parties, and it was just a hobby of mine.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in this live stream. We'll see you tonight on more CNFT Tuesdays. We're going to have Chronic. We're going to have, I think Freedom 35 is going to be on there. The Bandit, Ethan, the Warden is going to be on there. I'd love to have Steven on there, but 11 p.m. at night here for me is like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. for him.
Well, so no, actually, I would love to be there. If there's an invite to come and talk somewhere.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a second. What time? 11 p.m. What time's on you in Central?
Eastern.
Eastern.
Yep.
11 p.m. is.
I can make it either happen tonight or next Tuesday.
What time is it for you now?
It's 5 p.m. right now, so 6 hours from now.
5 a.m. Yeah, I can do 5 a.m.
Get out of here, bro. Crazy.
For sure. Yeah, let's do it next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday's fine. I've got a special guest, Gully. He's going to be on there for the first time. He's from where is he from? NFA. So I'm making connections with everyone from the Cardano ecosystem. I just want to talk to everybody. So yeah, let's do next Tuesday. That'd be great. And I think that's and so these guys are just fantastic, just hitters. So this is great.
That's it. And look, the reality is, it's like we're in a world now that I'm in a what would you say, marketing mode for my white NFT. I can't. Okay. Well, we're launching on the 21st. I mean that, of course, like, in the business sense, we need to get the word out.
Getting the word out, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
so
when you're done with that, we'll do some giveaways too next week about it too.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Well, send me an invite to that. Hook it up with John.
Yes, sir.
Talk to my agent.
Absolutely. Our handler, your handler there. He's the one who was working so hard to send me my hat.
Man, every week he was coming back at us with more of the story. It was incredible.
Like, golly, this is the worst.
It was a culmination of a lot of events, that hat.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys. The chat. I'll see you guys tonight. Steven, I'll see you next week, and I'll talk to you guys later.